Hey, this is Eric Robinson, and it's my first time ever to do Facebook Live, but I thought I would jump on today. I had this idea the other day. Years ago, I wrote a book. I know that surprises me too, but back in the day, I wrote a book, and I was carrying this book around for a long time in my briefcase back in the days when I had a briefcase, and it was on my laptop and I didn't quite know what to do with it. And I had been reading a book by Erwin McManus called Wide Awake, which just sort of challenged me to create and to bring this out into reality so that people might can see it or interact with it in some form or fashion. And one Thanksgiving weekend was at my dad's house back when he was still alive. And so that's been more than a dozen years ago, I guess, when I published it. And he just sort of challenged me and encouraged me to let's publish it. So I did publish it, self-published. Only bought and ordered one copy, the only copy that's probably live in the world. I did make it available for free as a PDF, and I'll link to it in the comments if you have any desire to look at it later. But I had this idea, instead of keeping it hidden, why not share it? And Facebook Live seemed to be like a good thing. I love, one of my favorite podcasts is by Rob Bell, and when he writes a new book, he and his wife sometimes will read portions of it, and he always says as read by the author. So I thought, hey, I wrote a book one time, so I'm going to share some thoughts with you as read by the author. Hopefully they'll help somebody. I think they have potential to help someone. So I'm going to read a little bit from the introduction of the book. Again, I wrote this book more than 2 decades ago. Okay? Keep that in mind. Keep that in context as you listen and be gracious and kind. It was a cold winter morning, as most December mornings were in West Virginia. I was on my way to the preacher's meeting I normally attended a couple of times a month. As usual, I stopped at a Quick Mart to get something to drink. You could tell by the bars on the windows and doors that I was in a poverty-stricken, often vandalized part of Charleston. I walked in to get a healthy, nutritious snack so that my mind would be in rare form for the lively discussions we preachers normally have. So you guessed it, I grabbed a Dr. Pepper and a Three Musketeers bar. Time out. Now, one thing has definitely changed about me in the past 2 decades. I no longer think that a Dr. Pepper and a Three Musketeers bar is a nutritious breakfast. Thankfully, that has changed. Time in. As I was approaching the counter to pay for my pop and candy, I noticed two ladies, one older and one younger. They were definitely from that part of town. They had signs of poverty written on them, worn out clothes, old shoes. They were in need of a bath. They had purchased a lottery ticket. From the looks of it, they had probably spent their last cent on that ticket. The older one peered over the younger one's shoulder as she scratched the surface of the ticket to see if the winning numbers might be revealed, hoping that they might win some instant cash. The expression on their faces was enough to tell they had not won. They had looks of frustration, desperation, and despair. They looked as though that was their last hope, as if that ticket was their only hope. I paid for my stuff, I went to my preacher's meeting, and for the rest of the day I thought about their sense of hopelessness, of desperation. And I wondered, and still do at times, why I didn't tell them that there is hope. I should have told them that there is hope, but it's not found in a lottery ticket. It is only found in the good news of Jesus Christ, our Savior. He is our hope. The good news is that He came from heaven to earth, the real world, to show us the way, the peace, the hope, the life. Stephen Curtis Chapman said it like this. Time out again. I guess that was back in the 90s, around that time, and Stephen Curtis Chapman was one. I mean, I love some of his music he was putting out. I think he still is. I just don't listen to music as much. I listen to podcasts and read books and occasionally listen to music time back in. But anyways, he says, we all want a future filled with hope. But when we watch the evening news, we wonder if there's any hope this side of heaven. Will there be a time when crime doesn't rock our daily lives? When our society will be free from the chains that hold it? Free from the hate and greed and despair? He goes on to say, from the front page of the newspaper to the deep hidden corners of the human heart, a cry is going up. It's the searching, longing cry of a culture and, in fact, a world in crisis. Where is the hope? Where is the peace? Where is the purpose and meaning for life here in the real world? The answer lies in a lowly manger, a cruel cross, and an empty tomb. What's the point, you ask? The bottom line is there's a lot of people in your world, in your communities, on your street, in your schools, maybe even in your church, who live as if they have no hope, who send up a cry of frustration and confusion every day, as if their only hope lies in a lottery ticket with numbers that don't match the jackpot. Somehow, we must tell them and show them that there is hope. If I could see those two ladies again, I would tell them with joy about the hope that is found in Jesus Christ. Many people in this world feel demoralized by the decay and darkness that surrounds them. Their lives are full of despair and confusion. They live as though they have no hope, and many of those that profess to have hope put their hope in things that don't last and have little or no life-changing effects. As a result, many are left asking the question, where is the hope? The message that God cares about people must be shared to a generation of people who have lost sight of having any hope. Where do you look for hope? Probably not in a lottery ticket, but perhaps in something just as hopeless. Maybe it's in a relationship. Perhaps it's in popularity or the desire to be famous. Maybe it's in your dreams for the future. Whatever it is, if it is not in Jesus Christ, it will not last. Paul pleaded with Timothy, command those who are rich with things of this world not to be proud nor to put their hope in wealth, which is so uncertain, but to put their hope in God. The world needs a constant reminder that the Lord is good to those who hope in Him, to those who seek Him. Would that we would share that gentle reminder with them. There is a hope that will last. The cry still goes up. Maybe you are one of the ones who feels hopeless. Maybe you too are wondering, where is the hope? Charles Colson echoes the same message Paul had. The hope that each of us has is not in who governs us or what laws are passed. Our hope is in the power of God working in the hearts of people. That's where hope is in this world and in your life. That is the message I want to share in this book. All I ask from you is a few hours of your time to go on a stroll with me through the gallery of time as we look at our God who is not bound by time. We will see that He is our only hope. Okay, that's just a few thoughts from the introduction. And so I don't know if any of that resonated with you or not. I might come back on here tomorrow or the day after and read a little bit from chapter 1, which, by the way, if you're wondering, is called Don't Write Them Off. Don't write them off. But I pray that today that something from this has been helpful to you and that you see and that you realize that there is hope. It's just not found in the things that we normally think it is. Our hope is found in Jesus, in Him alone. Hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching.